What's up, guys? My name is Alexi Michael, owner of Learn to Cut, one of the largest online platforms in the world for barbers. And today we have a very good friend of mine. His name is Justoni Villanueva. How we doing, baby? How we doing,
I'm feeling
Justoni?
I'm feeling great, bro. It's almost Friday, about to leave for LA on Saturday, so
Oh, wow.
excited.
We'll
Yeah,
talk about that in a minute. But I do kind of want to intro you, Justoni, and then we'll just kind of take it from there. I'll ask you some questions if that works for you.
100%
Let's
ready.
do it. Cool. So, who was Justoni before Learn to Cut? So, Justoni was an individual working in Winnipeg, charging $40, aiming to do $55 to $75 a haircut. He needed to build a personal brand and improve his video editing skills and content creation, but had no idea how. I think he had about 5K followers before he joined Learn to Cut and
I had
wanted a
like
deep
2K.
2K followers before Learn to Cut and wanted a deeper understanding with precision based cutting. Now, after LTC, he went from raising his prices from 40 to 65 at an average price point. Previously, doing about 170 clients, making about $7,000 a month, and now well over $12,000. He went from 5K followers or 2K followers to 27,000 followers, and now is in the process of becoming a traveled barber and growing his personal brand for the next 6 months, and also has opportunities with sponsorships and education. That's fucking a mouthful, dude. Holy cow.
Yeah,
That being said, I do want to touch up on this because people are probably like, what did he just say there? Now is in the process of becoming a traveled barber and
mm,
is going to be traveling for the next 6 months. What does that mean, Justoni? What does a traveled barber mean? Because I don't think anyone has any idea what that means.
okay. Travel barbering pretty much means obviously it's in the word travel, but I'll be going to different shops around the world, getting haircuts, and personally giving haircuts myself, learning, learning how they cut hair in those certain countries, like really immersing myself in their culture and just being like a regular person in those countries, but being a barber, of course, right? And documenting
Unbelievable.
my journey throughout all of it. And this will help, obviously, me personally, brand wise, and like the way I think. So I think it's a great opportunity. And I've always wanted to do it when I was younger. So why not now?
I love it. I think it's crazy because I don't think anyone's ever heard anyone do this before. So you're kind of
Hmm.
like one of one in regards to like because you've done so well, dude. And now you're like, all right, what's the next step in my career? And you're like, let me take this leap of faith. So I want to circle
Hmm.
back to who Justoni was before LTC. Can you tell me a little bit about where you were? What were the biggest challenges you were facing before LTC? And where were you at emotionally? Like, who was Justoni at that point in his life and career?
Before LTC, I was still getting over the topic of fear of judgment because that was the biggest part. Because obviously my barbershop, as it still is, it's more of like a lot bust out as many haircuts you can, and just cut like 20 heads and be tired after that. I don't get me wrong, I still do a lot of haircuts, but now I know, but now I limit it to like 8 or 10, so I have time to create content. But before that, I was like honestly lost, pretty lost. So trying to figure out what I wanted, but I knew exactly who I wanted to align myself with, which was obviously you, Alexi,
Yeah.
and that's why I decided to join the membership program because you had what I want, you know,
What
or,
what
or you,
what what was that? What was the thing that you were like, all right, I'm gonna make this decision and I'm gonna align myself with these guys and I'm gonna take that leap of faith and like join this program. What was that decision? Like, well, why did you choose us over anyone else?
it was the personal branding and the precise space cutting because I still do a lot of precise space cutting at the shop, but I still use obviously clipper over comb and the techniques that help you cut more faster if you're in really in a time crunch, and also like the styling portion and I guess like what's the proper word to put it in, like the culture or aesthetic that you guys carry to the table, and like obviously you guys are doing like a lot of like mental health stuff now, so I'm like I really mess with that, and I want to be part of that. And I've been watching some of it too on my downtime. So I really love how like this mentorship program has that included.
Yeah. So it just felt like it aligned with all the things that you personally wanted to improve. And you were just like, because of all
Mm.
this, I'm going to make that decision. So why don't you walk me through now? Like you're now part of Learn to Cut, right? You're going through this. What were some of the biggest challenges and some of the hardest things you had to go through and overcome while you were in the program?
I think the biggest challenge for sure in the beginning was the 75-day hard. that was the one where I was like, okay, post and post and post. But now that I got the hang of posting daily, it was trying to scale it more, just really getting a hold of who can help me out in the program. And yeah, those were the biggest challenges, to posting every day and not being too hard on myself, because comparison is the
Is
devil.
the
So,
devil, yeah. And I guess what
so
was
I'm
the
just
most
like
challenging thing about posting every day? What was the most challenging thing there?
having value, obviously having value within the post, and just like edit, like filming it in general was difficult, because you really, because when you're editing, when you're a content creator, you're basically thinking of like the angles, the reactions. Okay, like how am I gonna edit this? How can I move more efficiently? Which like parts I want to get of the haircut.
Yeah,
So, but while still trying to like maintain a good balance, like conversation with the client.
yeah. And okay, so let me put it this way. To anyone listening, they're probably like, okay, like I have to post every day, right? What are some of the tips now that you could give, that because you've gotten 27,000 followers, bro. You probably got through a lot of challenges and you had to learn a lot. You're posting every single day. What were some of the things that made it a lot easier for you to just, to make that 75 hard consistent? What was those things that really helped you understand editing and helped you just stay more consistent with it?
Well, like in the beginning, it's gonna be hard to find your style and what you want to post.
Right.
And I felt like I found my style in a way, so which is vlogs and posting process videos, and like obviously showing my personality, which is one. But the biggest thing is like having a backlog of footage of edited videos already made, so like probably like 7 to 10, and having a day off where you edit a lot of videos. And obviously, like to me, like yes, it's good to have a day where you find models and do and yada yada yada. I still do that, right? But if a client's in my chair and I think he or she would be dope for some content,
You're
I'm
taking
calling my
advantage.
next guy.
Yeah, you're
Yeah, I'm
taking
calling my
advantage.
next guy and be like, yo, I'm gonna be like 10 to 50 minutes late.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I'll do like it at a discounted price,
yeah.
but I gotta get this in. So
And the reason why you do that, most people would be like, well, I'm losing money, but you see the opportunity in taking that video because you could see the ROI in making that video and for it to blow up, right?
yeah.
That, which is hard, right? Because people think too much financially, but you're looking at it like
Mm,
long term. You know that if the video does well, it's going to add so much more value to your personal brand. And hence why you're
mm,
willing to take a bit of a discount, a bit of a cut financially to do it, right?
mm. Like I want people to understand like ROI is like not always like financial, you know what I mean? It could be like through like just meeting certain people that can help you get a certain spot, or even brands that will hit you up. So
That's right.
put that
Yeah.
out there.
Cool, man. So let's talk about this. So, what would you say are some of the biggest wins you got from being a part of the program?
Obviously scaling my Instagram from uh
2 to 27.
2000, yeah, to 27K followers, and meeting like obviously a whole bunch of talented individuals, and meeting one of my closest friends in the program, which is honestly Zoe Blends.
Yeah.
I FaceTime that guy every day, and like he's helped me. Like we've helped each other like really dive into this content game, and obviously the precise based cutting, which is obviously
Yeah.
and networking. I would say like networking with knowing different individuals from around the world that love precise based cutting, because like I'm like in between a precise but kind of hybrid, but I'm more on the precise side, and I'm so glad to like have met people that I've looked up to for the
Yeah.
past 5 years of my career. So
Unbelievable, man. And what would you say are, where would you say right now, revenue wise, where are you at financially? Do you feel like you're a lot more comfortable? Can you walk me through where was Justoni before? Where is Justoni now?
before, like I was just trying to bang out as many haircuts, say yes to everybody, be like I got you, and try to make like obviously a decent amount of cash, because that's a different point mentally. But now I'm probably around like 8 to 9K.
Yeah.
No, actually, no. I'd say around 8 to 10K on average,
Yeah.
depending on the month, depending if I was leaving or not. But now I'm just like, I'm good at like 10 to 12,
Yeah.
around there. I would say about per month. But now I've actually taken a day off, because like this program has helped align me towards my like actual purpose, is like content, like to like like purpose to, like give value and showcase like different ways of barbering. So it's like I've taken a day off to really focus on content and study more on like
Yeah.
different cultures in the world. So
Well,
I'd
dude,
say I'm at a better
I,
place.
I'm extremely proud of you, and you fucking smashed it. I've obviously known you for almost a year now, and I think what's very fascinating is that the next chapter, right? I really I cannot wait, and I'm so excited to see what happens next because what's gonna
Mm,
happen next for you, in my opinion, is gonna be really huge. Can you walk people through in regards to what can they expect from Justoni in 2025?
so in 2025, you'll expect a lot more content, a lot more cooler haircuts, definitely more of my personality, and more cinematic videos, and just
Yeah.
me being just a Filipino.
Whatever. What and when do you plan on leaving with Zoe Blends? Is that still is that option still happening, or where you at with
Yeah,
that?
the option is happening. So we decided that like it's better for us for the first 6 months of the year to just grind it out and really understand content creation and our videography skills because it's gonna be hard. We'd rather do that and build our brand more than try to do it on the trip. So we're doing the last 6 months of the year and the first 6 months of the year. We're just well, personally, I'm going to a lot of barber expos because I want to connect with other barbers. So obviously, I can like sustain myself when I'm on the trip to
Yeah.
network with brands and yada
Yeah.
yada yada. Yeah, the whole gist. So
So first 6 months build the relationships, next 6 months travel.
travel and just yeah create, but we're still creating the whole year though. We're still creating the whole year. So
Yeah, no, don't people don't think that he's stopping. It's just that right now he's
yeah,
doing it in house, and then he's gonna be traveling, right? Um,
exactly.
regardless, dude, you're an absolute fucking beautiful human being, and I cannot wait to see what's next for you, bro. And yeah, bro, we'll obviously keep working together, and I'm gonna see you in Calgary. I don't know if you're gonna be there with Zoe Blends, but I'll be out there with you if you're gonna be there.
So I'll be there.
All right, my man. Just Tony, we'll keep in touch, bro. I'm gonna send you a Zoom link. Jump on the Zoom link, and
Okay,
then we'll catch up quickly.
okay, bet, brother.